Welcome to the course overview. Here we'll discuss the recommended prerequisites, what you can expect from the course, and what you'll learn by the end, and how to get the most out of it. The prerequisites of this course really depend on your own experience and your interest, but generally speaking, the information from the following courses will be helpful to understand the context that DeFi fits in and the foundation that it's built upon. In order, the courses are Bitcoin Monetary Revolution, Crypto for Beginners, Blockchain and Bitcoin 101, Bitcoin Attacks, and Ethereum 101. While you can get by without these, if you're an absolute beginner, I highly recommend taking Crypto for Beginners first and Blockchain and Bitcoin 101, as I will build upon those concepts a lot in this course. Also, to understand the context of how DeFi fits in the bigger picture, I recommend taking the Bitcoin Monetary Revolution and/or reading the Bitcoin Standard book by Safedin Amos. That is my #1 essential read for anyone interested in Bitcoin and the industry as a whole. Bitcoin Attacks is relevant not only to Bitcoin, but to almost any project that has a blockchain. And Ethereum 101 is essential because most of DeFi is built on Ethereum, so we'll be discussing that heavily. Again, it's up to you to gauge your level of understanding, but I will say, 1, skipping ahead and making mistakes in DeFi can be very expensive, and 2, as I alluded to in my introduction, education has been the best investment I've ever made, and by understanding the bigger picture from the earlier courses, you'll put yourself in a much stronger position as we dig deeper into more protocols. Now, what can you expect from this? I'm so glad you asked. My main focus when designing this course is to make it so that you can do a lot on your own. Among the various video lessons and tutorials will be quizzes, forum discussions, tasks, and additional reading. Quizzes are reserved for when there are clear right or wrong answers. Forum discussions are for sharing opinions, having debates, or posting a piece of information that's constantly changing. For example, I may have you post the current TVL, or total value locked in DeFi, and predict where it will be at a future date. And additional reading will be relevant articles and websites for those who would like to look deeper. I want this course to be as hands-on as possible, and what you get out of it will really depend on how much effort you put into all of those quizzes, assignments, and discussions. This is the place to really test out your knowledge and abilities and learn from other people taking the course and share the knowledge that you have with others. The best way to fill the gaps in your knowledge is to teach others, but of course make sure the information that you're sharing is accurate when you do. Now let's actually cover what you'll learn. My goal is that by the end of DeFi 101, you'll have a fundamental understanding of what DeFi is. You'll be able to contrast it with CeFi, also known as centralized finance or legacy finance or traditional finance or TradFi. You'll understand the history of DeFi and the layers it's built upon and how they interact with each other. You'll have a basic understanding of the DeFi vulnerabilities from other people, smart contracts, and yourself. And you'll understand the importance of privacy and how to separate your personal identity from your DeFi transactions. Then once those basics are out of the way, we'll move on to the tutorials to actually use DeFi. I'll show you how to set up your MetaMask wallet with some tips and tricks that'll help you. We'll connect to the Ethereum testnet so that you can practice and try different protocols without risking any funds at all. We'll practice lending and borrowing on Aave using the Ethereum testnet. And we'll wrap up by covering how to track your portfolio. I made the decision to script most of the lessons here in order to keep them short and concise, but that also makes them dense with information. So if there's anything you don't fully grasp, I encourage you to watch that video again and reach out in the forum if you need any clarification. You're going to be putting your valuable time, money, and energy into this course, so I think it's important to consider how to get the most out of it. So rather than thinking of this as a ladder or stairs that you're climbing, think of it as building a pyramid. And even though you already have a good understanding, the gaps in knowledge are still probably there. And I know because I had to learn a ton in order to make this course. The more you understand the fundamentals of DeFi, the more prepared you'll be and the less likely you'll be to fall victim to scams or human error. The quizzes, forum discussions, assignments, and tasks are possibly the most important parts of the course, so I urge you to do them very thoroughly, even practice multiple times. Polite disagreements are always encouraged in the forum, and there will be times that I start conversations that I know people have varying opinions on. Now, before we move on to describing what DeFi is, I'd like to do 2 things for me. First, go into the forum and share your thoughts on what you think DeFi is from the link below. Think of this as brainstorming, so instead of thinking in terms of right or wrong, it's more to consider where each of us stands in terms of our understanding and what kind of knowledge gaps that we might have, maybe highlighting some of our biases. Now once you've done that, the assignment in the next lesson is critical. I'd like you to write down the goals that you hope to gain from this course. This is for your own use, and thinking about it throughout the course will help you keep your eye on the prize. If you're putting a bunch of time and brain juice and money into this course, it would be nice to have an idea of what you've gotten out of it when you're done. But first, the forum post. What do you think DeFi is?